com. I am Mag, and how you doing? It is a Wednesday. We're right smack in the middle of the week, already on the seventh day of the 10th month. That's right. If you thought that, the first half went by very fast, we're already in the final quarter of 2020. Okay, so I hope that you've made the best of a very bad situation and looking towards the positive side of things. Now, if you're watching us on Facebook, hey, welcome to the show. I am Mag, and this afternoon we're going to be talking about art. Now, I love art, and I would go and watch it and admire it and experience it, but I'm not much of an artist, okay? And that's why I have to bring someone who is a professional, all right? So this afternoon, I will be speaking to Dhavinder Singh. He is a multidisciplinary artist who lives and works in Kuala Lumpur, and his work is primarily focused on drawing, found objects, installation, animation, and site-specific manifesting his daily experience. Now, that's a whole lot of things to work on, isn't it? So I'm not going to emphasize much on this. I'm going to let the master himself speak to us about it and what he does, all right? So let's bring on our guest this afternoon, Dhavinder Singh, who is actually the person behind the exhibition Tagistan. All right, so we're going to talk about the exhibition. We're going to talk about him and how you can go and experience his work of art in the heart of Kuala Lumpur. So let's bring on Dhavinder Singh on Air for Radio. Hi.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Doing fine.
Very good. Thank you so much for spending your afternoon with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, so now I needed to ask you this. You're an artist. Normally, I would read out the word artist, but you have the word multidisciplinary artist. What does that mean?
That means that I have various practices in the arts, in a sense, like I just don't use one medium.
Okay.
So there's multiple mediums which I normally explore.
Okay.
So I don't focus on just drawing, or I just don't focus on painting. So I tend to utilize different methods in creating most of my work. So yeah, that's why it's called multidisciplinary, because I've added stop motion animation to my portfolio. So because I picked it up during the lockdown. Well, yeah. So because you have a lot of time in your hands, and then instead of, because you can't go out and get things done, in a sense, because so I found another way, in a sense, of making little stop motion videos.
Brilliant.
So that's how I guess I added on that multidisciplinary artist thing, instead of just being an artist. To be honest with you, I would just prefer to be called an artist instead of multidisciplinary artist. Yeah.
It's a mouthful, isn't it?
Yes, it is, definitely is. Yeah.
Okay, I guess that's looking on a positive side of things. Despite a bad year, you've actually picked up something to add on to your portfolio. So that's brilliant.
Well, as I think there's a saying that you have to make the best out of any kind of situation, right?
Absolutely.
So, and I guess that's what I did. So just made something out of something which is not so how do I say,
pleasant
in a sense. Yeah, sure.
Okay, so how long have you been doing this? When did you first fall in love with art?
I started. I joined an art school in 2006. Prior to that, I was a psychology major.
Okay.
Yeah, so I dropped that. Like, I dropped out from college, and I don't know. It was like, when you're younger, you can't really decide what you really want to do at that time.
Correct.
So your parents say you should do this, and someone else says that you should do this, and at that time you're just like, you're still making up your mind that on what you are really going to, be in a sense. So I thought I'm going to like psychology, so which I did. I enjoyed psychology for 2 years, in a sense, with all the social experiments, going out, doing all this, little experiments, like with, like for example, you there was one experiment which I would say which is really really interesting, that we had to dress up like beggars,
Okay.
like yeah, in order to see the reaction between a male beggar and a female beggar, like who
Oh, wow.
who gets more empathy, or who gets more, in the sense of like attention.
Yeah.
So yeah, so there was one. That's why I would say like, but after the second year, things became a little bit more more exam based rather
Okay.
than going out, in a sense, doing social experiments. But so that's where I got a little bit, um, in a sense, like I don't like to sit down and read and then sit for exams, in a sense, like I'm more
Ah, you like you're the
practical
person who needs
person.
to work
Yes, yes, hands on, in a sense. Yeah,
hands on. Absolutely.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So decided not to continue. Of course, parents get pissed off when you decided not to, So bummed around for a bit, for a year, I think for a year plus, and
Mm-hmm.
then finally decided to go back to school. And
Yep.
this time, I chose something which I think I really, really wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to join Malaysian Institute of Art,
Yep.
MIA. Yep. So at first, of course, my parents were quite skeptical about it. It's like
There he
you
goes
want to,
again.
first he wanted to do psychology, now he wants to do art. It's like, what's next, right? So
Yeah.
he's like, so yeah, parents were quite skeptical in that sense. But then again, I was quite adamant that I think I can really do this, because
Yeah.
it's more of a hands-on practice rather than like theory based, in a sense. You
Yeah.
have to like read and sit for exams, kind of thing. So in a way, I excelled quite well
Mm-hmm.
in my foundation year.
Yeah.
So, and of course, like the results are sent to your parents at the end of the day. And so my father was quite pleased, in a sense, like, oh yeah, there's a lot of A's and B's, instead of C's and D's. Yeah. Yeah. So he was,
Brilliant. At least they were happy after that.
yes, yes, yes. So he said, oh, it's good, it's good. It's like, are you really enjoying it? I said, yes, I am. So because I managed to fund my first semester myself, I had
Oh,
some money.
brilliant.
I had some money saved up, so because I didn't want to ask my parents money for that, because I think they've wasted quite a bit in this my previous
Hmm.
course. So I didn't want to do that. But then again, the results, in a way, they was quite encouraging. So they decided to, like, okay, we're gonna sponsor you, again. But
Very
next
good.
time, like this time, just don't stop
Stop
halfway.
halfway.
Yes, yeah.
I guess hashtag Asian children problems, isn't it? Or
Yes,
Asian
yes,
parent
exactly.
problems.
Yep, yep, yep.
Well, I guess I'm glad that you found your love midway, despite
Yep.
falling out of psychology. But you loved it to begin with. It's just the
Yes, yep.
part where you got more into studying and sitting down. That's when it got
Mm,
to you. So
yes,
you're a
yep.
very hands-on person, and I like that because that
Mm,
actually helps you do art better because
yep.
everything's hands-on, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes, yep, yep,
So
definitely.
how many years altogether have you been doing this for?
Um, like after I did my bachelor's,
Mm,
after MIA, I furthered my study. I went to Wales.
okay.
I got my bachelor's in fine arts, and I
Your
came back.
parents must be very proud now.
Yes, yes, I would say yes. My mom is, because my late dad, of course, he was a very proud man as well. But my mom has been very, very supportive, and I think
Fantastic.
I got this little gene from her, in a sense of this creative gene
Yeah,
from her, because she's a very creative person herself.
that's
She's
nice.
a seamstress. She's a just, I would say, she can just recreate anything, whatever she sees. So she's a natural talent in that sense.
Definitely not everybody
Yeah,
can do that for sure.
that, yeah, yeah, yeah. So I think it rubbed off a bit on me, in a sense.
That's good. Now you're
Yeah,
using it for the
yeah,
betterment of things.
true, true.
So is Tagistan your first exhibition?
Tagistan, no, it's my fourth.
Your
It's my
fourth.
fourth,
Okay.
solo exhibition. Yeah.
Fantastic. So now, before we speak about Tagistan, let's go back to your first ever exhibition. Let's talk about that. How was that like? I mean, you're an artist. You are who you are. You're now putting your presence. You're putting your work of art for people to basically judge. Let's face it, human beings like to judge things, right?
Yeah.
So it's on display there for everybody. So
Yeah.
how did it feel, your first exhibition?
It was quite exciting, to be honest, because even I was actually planning a solo show for a very long time, because I've joined multiple group shows prior to my first solo. So, but
Okay.
I think every artist looks forward for like their own solo exhibition.
Yeah.
So I think the excitement was quite the same as everyone else, to be honest, because it's something, as you said, we are putting out something for people to judge or to criticize or to
Correct.
just to look at. And sometimes people don't even say pleasant things, So, but I think that shouldn't discourage anyone at the end of the day. Yeah,
Absolutely.
because you just have to stay truthful and be honest towards whatever you're doing. Especially for
Mm-hmm.
me, I think, this particular exhibition, my this current exhibition, Tagistan, I think is just purely out of honesty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm not here to please anyone.
Everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just here to please myself. So it's a very selfish notion, but I feel that you have to have self-love in order that to share it.
I
So
actually like that. I mean, because it's your work at the end of the day. If you don't
exactly, yeah,
love your own work, then
exactly, yeah,
how do you find that confidence to put it out for the world to see?
exactly.
Well done. Brilliant. I love that.
Yeah. So maybe some people say you're overconfident, or is stuff like that, but
Yeah,
I don't think so. Is anything overconfident about anything? I think confidence is very important as an artist.
absolutely.
You have to have confidence in what you're doing. You
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't, like, just for example, if someone, like, it could be, I'm just saying that, what if, like, a gallery approaches you and says, like, oh, your work is not good enough for this gallery.
Yeah,
So, and that doesn't mean that you shouldn't, like, you should just stop. I
correct.
think,
Don't be
yeah,
discouraged.
yeah, I shouldn't be discouraged at that. Like, so that's why I always tend to um, do everything by myself, like DIY
Mm-hmm.
everything. So from, like, my first show, my second show, my third show, everything was self-funded, self
Wow.
managed, and I only had, like, one person who actually did my writing,
Uh-huh.
and that's it. And apart from that, from installing to fixing to bringing up work, like manual labor, just literally manual labor.
You're a
So
one-man show, aren't you?
I I don't know, because I think if you want to get things done right,
You have to
sometimes
do
you
it yourself.
do it yourself. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Unless
Okay.
unless unless you don't have the means, in a sense, you don't have like a certain, for example, if I wanted to do works on glass, I need
Mm.
someone professional to work with glass, right? I can't be doing it myself. So
Yeah.
things like that I cannot. I'm sorry, it's a bit noisy, right?
Yeah, I can hear someone reversing of sorts. No worries. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I think, as what I was saying, that as an artist, you should be, um, you have to have that sort of confidence at the end of the day,
Absolutely.
and honestly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So now, many years after that, and you're now doing your fourth
Fourth
exhibition.
purpose.
It's called Tagistan.
Yeah.
Tell us more about it. Walk us through this whole exhibition.
Okay. Tagistan is actually about my childhood upbringing. It,
Uh-huh.
it it has got something to do with my upbringing in Chan Shaolin. Chan
Okay.
Shaolin is a very industrial part of Kuala Lumpur.
That's your kampong, is it?
Yes, my kampong. Yes,
Okay.
born and raised there. So I have a lot of, in a sense, attachment and of with that space. But now, slowly, with a lot of gentrification which is happening at the moment all around KL, so it's slowly fading off bit by
Yep.
bit. So I'm just like, so what I decided was, like, because I've been collecting all these items for quite some time. It's just not
Mm-hmm.
recent. It's just not recently. So during MCO, apart from having a new skill making animation, I also had the chance to utilize a friend's space. So
Okay.
he actually allowed me to use his space to to do artwork. So I was thinking, I was still deciding, like, should I continue making two-dimensional works, or should I do something a little bit, not to say I've not done three-dimensional works before, but this is something as a full body of work, which is, it consists of, as I said, multi-disciplines.
Yes.
So there's elements of drawing, there's elements of paint, there's elements of carpentry, there's
Restoring. Yep.
restoring, and repurposing.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think it was just, in a way, quite a trivial exhibition towards my childhood. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So now, before we get into the inspiration, we know that it's about Chan Sao Lim. That's where you grew up, and basically, it's a little bit about your childhood. But the name, though, Tagistan, it's a very interesting name. How did the name come about?
It was from a found object which I found in a factory.
Okay.
One of the abandoned factories in Chansolin. You have quite a few of them left still. So I
You went
normally,
rummaging through factories.
yes, that's my scavenging ground. So I normally go about picking found objects, whatever can suit my whatever I've planned for it, like, in a sense. So there was this one tin plate which I picked up, and it had Tagi embossed on it, like,
Okay.
like, yeah. So I was quite curious what was that word. So
Yeah.
So I asked my girlfriend, like, can you Google this for me? Like, while I was doing something else, and then she was Googling it, and she was like, oh, there's multiple meanings to it, in different cultures.
Yeah.
So, and there was a few, but the one which struck me most, that it meant storage.
Okay.
Loosely, I think, said in Dutch. I'm just, because even if you Google it as well, it doesn't give you the exact like it doesn't
Meaning.
have exact meaning where it came from.
Okay.
But in different cultures, it means different things. Like some cultures, it means depression, it means anger, it's got very negative connotations to it.
Okay.
I picked the one which is a little bit positive, which is like, and very mundane, which is storage at the end of the day.
Okay.
Yeah. So from there, I built up this whole series based on that particular word. So I think if I wouldn't have found that piece of plate, I wouldn't have
The
conjured.
exhibition today.
Exactly, yeah. So it's the smallest thing sometimes which can affect the whole bigger picture at the end of the day, right? So
That's a brilliant story.
yeah, so it's just actually, and there's a lot of chance involved as well.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because I think most of the pieces are put together in a sense, like, sometimes you're not sure that piece A and piece B can be together, but sometimes if you give it enough time, it would change your perception towards that piece A and piece B. Then how do you put these two things together and make it into one whole object, right? Like a visual piece. So that sometimes can take time, and I think this has been brewing for the past 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah, because I've been gradually collecting items from that area, from Chan Sao Lin, this particular few spots in Chan Sao Lin. So it's just been gradual process building up to this, in a sense. But I never planned this. I never planned this. Never planned this to happen. That's why I say everything happened by chance. Like, everything fell into place.
Yep.
During COVID-19, during the lockdown, if my friend did not borrow me his space, I wouldn't have started bring all this stuff out from my storage out, and put it out, lay it out, and see, to think about what can I do with it at the end of the day. So I think as an artist, we have to tell stories.
Absolutely,
right? Yeah. We are also and you have to be very observant, in a sense. So the items which I picked is based on, I think there is aesthetics to it, of course, but then again, there's also this particular memory to it. Yeah. So it leaves like a person from Tansalin, if he comes here to my exhibition at the moment, and he might be like brought back to, you know,
His
to the past,
childhood.
his
Yep.
childhood. Yeah. So it's in a way, it's a social experiment too. You know, there is some psychology involved, you know, in a very subconscious way, but yeah.
Brilliant. Leave a psychology and an art student, mix, and then he gives you an art exhibition where he can analyze your behavior towards it. Now, I was gonna ask you what's the correlation or the connection between the name and the whole exhibition, but I think you clearly explained it. It's about the history and it's about living there in Chansao and how you've put it together. But now, being someone who's got so much history in Chansao, you said this is like 10 years brewing. Why did you want to do it this year, though? I mean, you found that piece, yes, correct. You've put things together, yes, correct. But,
Why
to
this
go
year?
ahead, yeah, because you obviously found a silver lining despite everything that was happening in the year 2020. So I love that. So why decide to go with the exhibition?
Um, I actually had plans. I actually already had plans for this year,
Mm-hmm.
but because of COVID-19, all of
Yeah.
those scheduled plans were all cancelled.
Halted. Yeah.
Yes, so I have to like rethink again. You know, in a sense, like how do I uh, get things going on as an artist? Because I was supposed to have an exhibition in September.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was supposed to be part of the KL Biennale.
Okay.
Yeah, but which was cancelled, which was called off.
Yeah.
So all of that, in a sense, like not to say that idea of that particular work, of course, it's not physically done, but I'm not to say I'm going to discard it, but I'm still going to.
Mm.
It might be utilized in the future, not yet, but in that sense, I had the whole time, that 3 months being at home, to think and to sit and see it and to ask myself like, okay, you have to have plan B,
Yes.
right? And with, as I said, there was, by luck, my friend told me like, oh, my space is available for you to use, and it's a huge space. Then I thought to myself, okay, I'm not going to do paintings. I'm not going to do any
Yeah.
drawing. I'm not going to do anything which is in a small scale. I want to do something which is quite prominent in a sense. For me, all these things are very, very personal to me, because some of the items, uh, they belong to my grandparents.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I've utilized different elements, not just discarded items which I picked up from Chansalin, but I've also included personal items which considered, I inherited from my mom or from my aunties or whoever. I can borrow stuff which belongs to my grandparents.
Yeah.
So I can show you one of it. I'm just sitting next to it. This is my grandpa's suit.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's part of the exhibition. Uh, and some people find it odd that they say, why do you have to display something which is already made and it's already pre-made? You did not create it. And I
Okay.
said, yeah, I said it's not necessary for an artist to create everything. You know,
Okay.
sometimes you can use things which are already pre-made.
Great.
They're
Yeah.
already like created for you already, in a sense, that, and you just give it a different you display it and you give it a different meaning at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So walk us through the whole process of that whole art exhibition, right?
Uh-huh.
How long did it take to plan it, right? How
Mm-hmm.
long did you take to work on it? And
Mm-hmm.
did you work with anyone else to make this happen? I mean, what are some of the challenges that you face as well putting all this together?
um, I actually forgot to mention that this show is supported by Chandana.
Okay.
Yep. And so yeah, so because there was this grant given out, there was this funding program by Chandana, so
Correct.
I applied for it. It was just like a shot in the dark, not sure that I'm going to get it or not, but at the
You
end,
got it.
I got it. So that's how I think everything came into
Fell
plan,
into
like,
place.
yeah, fell into place. So now I have a team to work with.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so I have a team, I have a group of people to work with, and it makes things very, very much easier compared to
Mm-hmm.
doing everything yourself.
Yes.
Even though you want to, but certain things is left. It's better left to the person who knows it best, right?
Correct.
So yeah, I have a great team of people working with me,
Uh-huh.
and the space as well. This particular space was also by luck, in a sense that this person, the person who owns the space, advertised uh, this current space on a Sunday, and then on a Monday I came in, I saw it, and I straight away told the person, as like, look, I need this, you know. And from there, that's how the ball started rolling. And
Rolling.
yeah.
So when you go for the exhibition, right, Tagistan,
Mhm.
is there like a story? I mean, is there like a start and an end where you need to follow the process and then you understand that this is your story? Or is it just any random exhibition where, things are separate? There's no connection to things.
The works actually have all of the works actually have an individual story,
Okay.
but
They're not
I
connected.
they have an individual story, but they are connected, and
Okay.
they also tell a story as a whole.
Okay.
Yeah, so there are tiny little tales about each work,
Okay.
but there's a whole, um, how do I say? No, it's not. It just, if you look at, how do you have to be here physically in order for me to like actually show it to you, because for me to just speak about it like that is not going to make sense.
Okay,
Yeah,
understood. All
yeah.
right, so if you're watching us on Facebook, you need to go check out this exhibition. Okay, it's called Tagistan. It's brought to you by Dhavinder Singh. Where is it being held? So that our viewers, our listeners can actually go check it out.
Okay, it's at the new wing of the Zongshan building, which is in
Okay,
Kampung Atap.
all right.
Yes. So the Zongshan building has been a creative hub for almost three years now.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. So they have expanded now. They have like their rent. They have expanded to the back, in a sense. They have a new wing, which I think is going to be used for other commercial purposes. But so
Yeah,
that's why I said I'm quite lucky to have it, because after this is going to be the first and last exhibition here.
okay.
Yeah. So after this is going to be like an F&B cafe kind of concept.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah. So the space is totally going to change. It's no longer going to house artworks or whatever it is, you know.
Yeah,
So that's why I took that opportunity to, because the owner of the space told me, like, oh, you can only rent it out for a couple of months, because after
okay.
this we're going to switch it to a different, make it into a different space.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I felt like, okay, I have to really utilize every inch, every corner of this particular
Absolutely.
space. So
How
everything
long is
felt,
this exhibition going to go on for?
it's from the 1st until the 31st of October, until end of the month,
Okay, so it's throughout the whole month, yeah?
throughout the whole month. Yep.
Okay. All right. Okay. Were there any challenges, any part of this, the whole planning process that you felt like, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. This is too overwhelming. It's
No,
getting to me.
no,
No?
no,
Not
no,
at all.
no, no. I
Wow.
don't think so. My work has ever done that to me, in a sense. Like my, I think whatever I think art is a practice where you shouldn't be overwhelmed. I think unless you are out of creative juice, lah, you like
Yeah.
how writers have a writer's block. So
Correct.
artists do have that block too. But it happens very, very rarely with me, to be honest. Yeah. It's just very constant. Every single time you're thinking about something, okay, I should do this, I should do that, I should do this. So there's a
Yeah.
tons of ideas in my head which I still want to let out, but gradually, slowly, bit by bit. Yeah.
Fantastic. This
Yeah.
is what this is what happens if you are driven by passion, isn't it? We can tell that art is something that you're very passionate about and you love it so much that the fact that you had no challenges or you had nothing to say about what was hindering you from
Oh,
doing this, that was brilliant.
there was minor glitches here and there,
Of course, that happens. Yeah.
technical problems, which is nothing, in a sense, like nothing major in a sense.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
none of the works broke or anything like that. Because I've had one of my previous works in 2015. I had a show in the White Box in Publica.
Yeah.
So they didn't have proper concrete walls, so they had just backing walls,
Yeah.
those dividers. So I installed my work there, and the next day I got a call from the gallery assistant. She said like, "Oh, Davinder, your work fell and it's shattered."
Oh no.
Yeah. So I said, "Why? How come?" It's like, I don't know. He said it just fell off the wall. Just dropped.
Oh
So
dear.
yeah, and I think that's the only time which I faced like, oh, I don't want to. I'm not going to make this particular work again.
Yeah. Because you're
Yeah.
disheartened. I understand.
No, because I think, but that was not. That was not even. I think it's more of a technical problem
Yeah.
rather than it breaking by itself. Just like, yeah. So far in this show, I think it's been blessed. I have got no issues with whatsoever it
Brilliant.
is. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. So if you're watching us this afternoon and you'd like to drop us a message, whether for me or for Davinder, if you want to cheer him on or you want to ask him questions about the exhibition, it's called Tagistan. It's going to be happening all throughout the month of October. And how do you pronounce the name? Jungsan?
Uh, Chongsan is, if you want the
Jungsan.
Chinese
Okay.
Chongsan, yeah, but it's but you spell it ZHONG
Yep.
SAN, so it's
Yep.
Zongshan.
Jungsan. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Okay, we got a message here from Amelia Nur Aslan. She says, "Hi Davinder, love the exhibitions and the chessboard games." Now,
Oh,
I'm going to
thank
ask you
you.
though, is the whole exhibition static or is it interactive where,
I have
people can
one.
actually experience it themselves?
I have one piece which I created.
Mm,
It's got nothing to do with Chan Shaolin, but
okay.
um, it was just I think it was a fun piece which I always wanted to create it. I always wanted to create a game.
Yeah.
But so I conjured this idea that I want to combine three different things into one, and
Okay.
yeah, so I combined. That was like, because I found this Chinese checkers in the factory, so this
Wow.
actually so this these are really old, and this actually sparked that idea of the Takistani chess game which I did. So there's a lot of elements of like childhood elements which is involved, like rock paper scissors.
Uh-huh.
So the rules are very simple. Uh, show it to you here. So so it floats. You have to create balance. It's about balance. It's about creating balance. So
Wow.
but there's also chance involved. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I think it's best if people come and try it themselves, and then I think they would understand it better rather than me just talking about it. So
Definitely,
come over,
definitely.
come by, and have a go at it. We'll be having a tournament, a Tagistani floating chess tournament at the end of the show, on the
Okay.
31st actually. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and then there'll be a prize which is going to be an artwork.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Mm.
Okay, so you said Chinese chess, right?
Yes, it's Chinese checkers, but you
Chinese
don't play.
checkers.
Yeah, but you don't play it like the Chinese checkers.
Okay.
So
The fact that to play it already is so difficult, now they make it, hanging where you have to challenge yourself some more.
true.
Okay, so you've told us about that little Chinese checkers and the chessboard game. Walk us through some of the other highlights at the exhibition. I mean, what are the must see, must experience stuff?
Shall I walk you around?
Hey, go ahead. Sure, why
Okay,
not?
sure,
As long as we
cool.
don't lose you halfway.
But yeah. So I'm just gonna walk you through the show just for a bit.
This is
Uh,
brilliant.
uh, yeah, this is one of the works. So it's an old first aid kit box, which I
Uh huh.
found which I found in the abandoned factory.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've given it a new meaning. And that is,
There's a skull.
yeah, that's an anatomical skull with a monitor which I found in a car workshop.
Wow.
Yeah, and this is the highlight of the show, which is my grandma's bed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's a chapoy bed, which my grandma owned for many, many years.
Okay.
So yeah, it's very, I think this is the centerpiece of Tagistan. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'll just show you the space from far, like how it looks like.
This space
So
looks very pretty. Yeah, it looks very spacious.
yep. So this is another installation.
What is that?
Uh, all this stuff actually belongs to my grandpa. The wok,
Okay.
the tray, he actually he owned it, and that came from my grandma's kitchen. The
Window,
cabinet,
is it?
the cabinet, the
A
kitchen
cabinet door. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And this is the whole space. So it has air well, and yeah,
It has a lot of natural light.
a lot of natural light. So yep.
Is that a hanging umbrella? Mid-air?
No, it's a saw.
It's a saw. Wow.
Yeah.
So these are all things that you've actually collected over the years.
Yes.
Okay. That's brilliant. I have never had a guest that walked us through the whole exhibition or
No.
anything for that matter. So you've got a first for everything. I love that. So, how many items are there
There
altogether?
are 20 pieces.
20 pieces. And how
Yes.
long did it take to put everything together?
About 4 months.
4 months?
4 months. Yep.
Okay, if I were to ask you what's the most meaningful piece of art that's there right now to
My
you?
grandma's bed.
Grandma's bed, definitely. All right, that's brilliant. So, guys, don't forget. Once again, give us the information. Where to go? How long will it be on? And what can you look forward to? Go ahead, Dhavinder.
Um, do you want to take over on this? Can my project manager tell you about all the details about the show?
Sure.
Yeah. So
Yeah, why not?
I'm gonna bring in Vivian in. This is Vivian Adram.
Hey,
Hey,
babe.
Meg.
I did not expect to
Name's not
interview you, but
Dhavinder.
hey, why not? Okay, walk us through the information about the exhibition.
Okay, so the exhibition runs from the 1st to the 31st of October.
Yeah.
We're closed on Mondays.
Okay.
Weekdays is from 11 to 7 p.m. and weekends are until 9 p.m.
Okay.
Okay,
Are
one
there
of the highlights-
charges?
No charges. They're free. Please come, bring your family. It's an experience that you need to have with live in person.
Okay.
We follow strict SOPs in order to
Yep.
flatten the curve. So
Brilliant.
even the Tagistan floating chess game, after every game, we sanitize it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And there's an SOP station, so you get logged in, you follow the My Sejahtera app, the whole jazz. And also, there are 12 pieces, besides the 20 pieces that are on display, there are 12 pieces that are 2D. So those are for
Okay.
sale. Those are the only things that are for sale.
Okay. Nothing else are for sale.
Nothing else for sale. Maybe me lah. I'll see lah.
Are you a kasihan?
But at the same time, on the 17th and 18th,
Yep.
next weekend, we will have a trestle making workshop.
What is a trestle?
Trestle. Good question. Let me try and bring it to you. Trestle is actually like, this is how strong I am. Connections.
Is that like a
knew
bangku?
this one.
Okay, it is a
Yeah.
bangku.
It's not a bangku making workshop. It is
It is actually a bangku making workshop.
this is a more fancy way of saying lah. Why lah?
Sorry, I'm
Trestle-
so Malaysian. It's not funny.
fine. I will put in brackets. Trestle making workshop, aka Bangku.
So Trestle is a bangku lah.
Trestle is a Bangku, but actually Trestle is that connection that
Okay.
you see trestles in like old buildings, the rooftop. Those are called trestles as well.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I'm-
Dhavinder's going to teach about 6 people max each workshop.
Okay.
About 2 to 3 hours on Saturday and Sunday, 50 ringgit per person just for the equipment.
Okay.
They get to back their creations. So do sign up. We have an event page for that too. I'll send it to you later on. You can share it on the F4 Radio page.
Definitely.
Yeah. And then since the game is such a hit, as Dhavinder said, we have a tournament.
Yep.
Yeah. So
So who can participate in the tournament and how can they participate?
just come, PM us,
Yeah.
and we'll put your name up, and then we'll have a schedule for, depending on how many people sign up, we'll have a schedule throughout the whole day. It's the
Okay.
last day of the exhibition, so we want to end with a bang. A good bang.
Fantastic. Okay, so for more information, where can our viewers and our listeners go to?
Please follow Dhavinder on Instagram and Facebook, Dhavinder Singh.
Okay. So
Both
that's
on
how
Instagram
you
and
spell it,
Facebook.
right? Whatever is written on his name down
Betul.
there.
Yes, that's
Betul.
right, Dhavinder Singh. And also he's got a website, www.dhavindersingh.com.
Brilliant.
Yeah. And do come visit us at the Zhongshan building. This is the back of Zhongshan. If you go through Tommy LeBaker, or you're used to getting into Tommy from the back, that sounds really wrong. But but that is how you will see the word Tagistan on a black door. And
Okay.
we'll be right there. It's me, Dhavinder, and our gallery sitter, Amelia. I'll be happy to answer questions, walk you through it, give you a full experience.
Brilliant. Okay. So you don't have to worry. I know the numbers of COVID is going up, but you don't have to worry because they are practicing very high levels of SOPs. They're adhering to everything. So you can rest assured that you will be safe in their hands. Correct?
Definitely. We won't touch you.
Fantastic. Okay. So can we have Dhavinder back on screen,
Yes.
please?
Hi there.
Hi. Okay, before I let you go, we've come to the end of the show. So the last
Okay.
part is normally a quick rapid fire segment. I ask you quick questions, you give me quick answers.
All right.
So today we're going to do our my favorite threes. I will give you each question. You have to give me 3 answers, but very quickly, short and sweet. Are you ready?
Okay.
All right. Let's start with the first one. Describe the exhibition in 3 words.
Personal, sentimental, and emotional. Yep.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
3 of the most valuable things at the exhibition.
My grandpa's suit, my grandma's bed, and my grandma's kitchen.
Aww. 3 things you would be doing right now if Tagistan was not happening today.
Probably drinking, getting drunk.
2 more things.
drink, and drink.
Okay, 3 things you would like to have added to the exhibition, but it's not there today.
My grandparents. Just my grandparents.
Okay,
Yeah.
you still have to pick 2 more, you know.
My grandma, my grandpa, and my grandma again. Yeah.
Okay, now when someone actually walks into the Tagistan exhibition, what are the 3 feelings you hope to ignite in them?
Maybe I would say it's more towards reflecting. I was recollecting back old memories, like for them to just like, oh, okay, oh, I remember this. I saw this before. So it's kind of stuff like that. Yeah. It's
Like a blast from the past.
yes, kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay, 2 more? You know it's called My Favorite Threes for a reason, right?
I'd probably buy a T-shirt, buy our merchandise.
Very
and,
smart.
Yeah.
One
And
more?
the other one more. What else? We can give you some incense. I have a lot of incense. Yeah. Jasmine incense. Yeah, by the way, T-shirt. Yeah, it's for sale.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So he's promoting it. Okay, you can go get it there at the exhibition. And finally,
Yeah.
3 things you'd like to tell our viewers and our listeners this afternoon about Tagistan, the exhibition.
3 things. Can it be 3 words?
Yeah, go ahead.
Come see it.
See it. Okay lah, very clever. I like that. Now, it has been wonderful speaking to you.
Likewise.
There's so much that you can experience at Takistani exhibition. It's happening all through the month, and it's at Zhongshan or Zhongshan, whatever.
Junction.
Zhongshan, okay. And it's behind Tommy LeBaker,
The
correct,
baker.
Vivian?
Yes.
All right, so make sure you go check him out on all the social media platforms at Dhavinder Singh. Your final words before I let you go.
My final words would
Yeah.
be: it's raining. Please use an umbrella, and if you're driving, please drive safe. Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, Dhavinder, thank you so much
Thank
for
you so
spending your
much.
afternoon with
Thank you
me.
so much for having me.
I'm going to wish you all the best on the exhibition, and hopefully we'll keep in touch. And
Definitely.
we'll look forward to more exhibitions from you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Have a great day. Take care.
Sure.
Bye bye.
Bye.